Hey guys, it's AllycatlovesAG here with Naya, who is the winner of AGNDM Cycle 5, with all of the excitement around Cycle 6 of AGNDM. Hopefully this video will help you guys with some tips to hopefully get in, and if you guys successfully made it into the top 12, congratulations. Hopefully these tips will apply to you guys as well, as I've divided them up with general photography tips, specific a little bit more towards AGNDM, as well as audition tips and tips for the rounds that I found helpful. Let's get into it. So the very first thing you have to do before you even start thinking about what you're going to do for each theme is get in. So the very first thing I recommend is to pick a versatile doll. This isn't too hard, but you don't want to be like, I'm going to pick a doll with a multicolored wig that you can't really remove and swap out just to get in because of how unique your doll is. Same thing if you have a boy doll, but you don't have many boy doll clothes and you can't sew, because there are usually themes such as Disney Princess Week or Recreation Week, and if you just have a really unique doll who is really hard to do recreations with and doesn't really look like anyone or anything, those weeks will be a lot more of a struggle for you. The next thing is to stick to your strengths. For the audition, you just want to show that you can stand out amongst a crowd, so you can do a little bit of trial and error, but make sure you submit a photo that you are really happy with. I know my first time doing AGNDM in Cycle 1, I submitted this photo right here, and it was at the time my most liked Instagram photo, and I got in because of the creativity with the blinds and the lighting. And for Cycle 5, what I ended up doing was taking a photo of Naya with bokeh, which is one of my strengths. That's those little light dots you have in front of the camera, and just some vibrant colors, color harmonization, and a really nice crisp close-up because that's what I'm good at. So stick to your strengths. If you know you're better at outdoor photography, do that. If you're better at indoor photography, do that. If you're better at really good editing, do that. The next thing I didn't really do in either of my auditions, it was more of a thing after Cycle 1, but to tell a story with your photo. So you want to capture the attention. So if you can, do like a wider shot, which ties into my next thing for auditions, is to use props. If you're telling a story, I remember one year somebody got in with an umbrella. Set up a scene, tell a story to make it a bit more unique and stand out a little bit more. So those are all of my basic audition tips, but keep watching because some of the advice for when you get in for the actual rounds, as well as general advice at the end, will probably apply. So next up, once you make it past the auditions, you have the rounds. Try to think outside the box. If you guys know the TV show Drag Race, there was an episode in season 8 where they all had to do Madonna looks, and 4 different people or something all showed up in variations of a kimono. It wasn't very versatile. Just try and be really creative with your themes in terms of what you can do. Usually they are really broad, but you don't really want 5 people doing Princess Jasmine for Disney Princess Week. Maybe do someone a bit more creative, like the princess, I forget her name, from The Sword and the Stone. Just get creative and get unique. The next thing, which I think was the hardest for me, is try to plan ahead and have a plan B. I would always get a theme, and when I'd walk home from school, because I still had school during my cycle, I would always be thinking, what can I do for this theme? And I'd ask my friends, what should I do for this theme? That was always the hardest part for me because I know editing isn't my strength. I have to figure out some way to try and get that photo and capture that without relying on editing. Try and plan ahead as for what you want to do, what materials you're going to need, how you're gonna make the photo look, and have a plan B in case, oh no, I don't actually have green construction paper for my under the sea photo. If you're ever stuck on a theme, for inspiration, I recommend Pinterest. That's good for more photography creative themes. Just if you want inspiration as to how does somebody spice up a portrait, how does somebody do something with the color yellow. And also looking at past seasons, things like Career Week and Animal Week have been done a few times. So if you look at other contestants, you can see if you're being unique, and also some ideas as to how to either edit your doll like an animal or dress them up like an animal. And even with audition photos, you can even look back and see what got in and why do you think that person got in. So now we're just gonna get into the general photography tips, but a lot of them are specific to AGNDM and what Heart tends to like. She really loves color harmonization, so that pretty much means just making sure all the colors go together. So in my audition photo, I had a lot of whites, purples, and blues. The rule of thirds. So when I shoot on my DSLR, there's a little grid that appears. You have 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines, and you're just going to find the third line, so one of the lines, and try and line up. I usually do my doll's nose with that. It's more visually appealing. The next thing is edit your photos. You don't need some fancy editor like Lightroom and Photoshop, which is what I use. I know PixArt is a really good free one, and if you get Lightroom for your phone, that is also free. Most features, that is. And when you edit, you just fix your photo. So if your doll's eyes are too dark, you can just brighten those up. You can adjust contrast, and it just elevates your photo and helps it be the best it can be. The final tip, which I find really helped me, is to have a support group. I have my closest friends on AGIG who, for the most part, have all participated in AGNDM before, and they would help me brainstorm ideas, and when I finally came up with something, they would help give me advice on how I can improve my photo. I'd send it to them and then be like, maybe you can brighten up the eyes a little bit, so I go fix it. You might like your own photo, but then when you send it to other people, they'll see things from their perspective and see things that you should fix. And I do really recommend doing this with your audition photos.
Hey guys, it's Paige from the Doll Place. We were the winners of Cycle 4 of AGNDM with our doll Evie here, and today we're going to be giving you some tips on how you can get into AGNDM and just some tips if you get in and how to manage everything and just make your pictures look good. Think outside the box. With hundreds of entries, you want your doll to stand out. It should be eye-catching and different. If I just sent a portrait of my doll like this, it would likely get overlooked. Think, what can I do that will stand out? I made Evie a dress entirely of live flowers because I knew that that was something that has never been done before. So think, what's something that no one's ever seen? Think to impossible levels, because if you believe you can do it, you can. Don't rely on editing. This is something that's done a lot. You shouldn't have a photo that's just taken against a wall for everything to be edited in. It can look really messy and fake. Make sure the foundation of your photo is real, and editing is just to edit things out, adjust lighting, and maybe use some overlays and simple things like that. Use items you have around, or think of how to make them rather than editing them in. As you guys might know, every week we went all out on sets, but really everything was made out of no more than just paper mache, cardboard, and paint, mainly reused materials. Make sure your photos aren't boring. Don't just have photos of your doll standing there. If this was, say, Colors Week or something, and your doll was all color coordinated, but just standing here, it's boring. Pose them. Use sticks or skewers to hold poses. I loved using a paper towel holder. It always held the dolls up nicely, like sticking it up their dress and stuff. Cross their legs, make their hair blowing or in a place you'd like it to be. If you'd like, even make them fly. Just don't be boring. Be creative. When you receive a theme, don't instantly do the obvious. If it was, say, Art Week, maybe, think beyond just having your doll drawing. Think of the first thoughts that come to your head, then go off of those to further ideas. Ones that no one else is doing. Painting. My doll painting. My doll looking at a painting. My doll being the painting. Just be original and all your style. No matter how crazy your ideas get, make sure you remember nothing is impossible. Dissect your ideas piece by piece, and eventually you will get an amazing photo. Make sure your pictures are good. This is a no-brainer, but if your photos have bad lighting, aren't interesting, and are blurry or hazy or just plain ugly, that's not good. Make sure your doll is in the focus. After all, it is a modeling competition, so make sure you are looking at the doll. Even if you have other dolls in the photo, make sure your model stands out. Always make sure you have good lighting, eyes are bright, hair is neat, and lips and blush are nice and clear and bright. Don't give up and have fun. This competition requires 12 weeks. 12 weeks that can be difficult to manage sometimes. Don't stress. Remember, it's just a contest, and it's a great way to improve on your photography. Relax and just be creative. Take it a day at a time. Ideas don't have to come overnight. If you don't make it in, don't give up on photography and keep trying every cycle. If you make it in, listen to critiques and just don't stress and keep going. Please remember that nothing is impossible. And that's it. Those are some tips on AGNDM, and I hope these help you guys for auditions, if you guys get in and all that kind of stuff. And we wish you all the best of luck, and you guys are all amazing.
So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, did you guys audition for Cycle 6 of AGNDM? Congratulations if you guys ended up getting in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell for new videos, and have an amazing day, good luck, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!